Evening. Recent chill hop music album. Lo-fi hip hop radio girl. Chill lo-fi to study to. It's a really good album. I'm Aurian Archive and I can't sleep. Thus, we're launching back into another build theory. This time picking up on a Sonic Defender request. Now, I've actually got a Sonic Resonant Defender. I think I've actually got two, if you count Rabbitanium, I think is a Sonic. Um, but the one we're actually looking at, or the one I've got up on screen, is my Sonic Dual Pistols, and the actual file name is something like Sonic Dual Pistols Electric Support R3. So it's the third revision of a support focus build. And before I get into it, go over some of the power choices, why I chose these powers, because they are going to, some of them might change or will have to change in order to swap to a Sonic Resonance Sonic Blast. Now, obviously, first off, you can see I did take Sonic Barrier, and I used this for just a resist and the resist PvP, TP, PvP, TP protection plus 3 defense all. Winter's Bite and Pistols, as this is a power you can't skip. Maybe a damage proc might have been better here, but out of the single target uh, proc capable enhancements, you can see later on there's a reason why I went with Winter's Bite here. It gives me some powerful buffs and buff capabilities. In this case, a strong energy negative in range and a strong fire cold strong AoE. Sonic Haven, only a single Unbreakable Guard plus resistance. Empty Clips, this one has the Superior Vigilant Assault for the PBAOE plus Absorb. I did not on this Defender use the split Superior Vigilant Assault 3 slots and 2 different powers for double the enhancement recharge time. And part of that is due to there's not really a whole lot here that ramping up recharge really boost anything. If you look over my pool powers, I didn't take uh, hasten at all, just because there's nothing here that really benefits from it. Going on down, I took kick, obviously to unlock tough and weave later on in the build. Mystic Flight, I took Mystic Flight to unlock, well, so I could take Spirit Ward, and we look over at the pool powers. We'll see if some of my other pool choices affected which travel powers were available. Sonic Dispersion, which is the PBOE toggle field around a Sonic Resonance, and you can see here I did 3-slot Aegis, the Steadfast Protection, Resist Defense to kind of fill out the lack of resist as I'm using the Sonic Statics Resistance proc here. And although it's not really that useful on the Defender, I did have a slot in here for Impervious Skin Status Resistance. Thus, I already know if I'm moving this to any other build, I've got a quick, maybe I can drop this slot to move on. Bullet Rain picks up Superior Frozen Blast, targeted AoE, simply for that high-end AoE Fire Cold AoE defense. Disruption Field, which is the hula hoop of death that you place on a teammate, and just double slot it with endurance. You can look over here, got a base endurance cost of 0.52. That does kind of add up, so maximizing the endurance discount into ED cap, very good idea. Stealth, I kind of, however, this character was meant to be portrayed, just a flying guns from nowhere. Stealth was kind of almost seemed like her thing. And Spirit Ward. This is one of the reasons why I took Well, I didn't have to take Mystic Flight, but I did. In order to reach defensive soft caps, I knew I would have to be taking maneuvers, and I knew I would have to be taking weave. That only left 2 power sets to play with. To close the gap on some of the defense, I did wind up taking stealth, say over combat jumping. Now, if I had taken, I already know from uh, Effingleta, I think it's Aphingleta. Yeah, Aphingleta. I know that stealth and infiltration don't stack. So taking stealth meant that I was not taking the new travel power in the concealment set. Thus, I was locked to get a full heal to be placed on a teammate, hence the support set tagging, I had to take Spirit Ward, or I do have some other options, and we'll look at those as um, actually, since I've got this build pulled up back here in the background, we'll actually do that real quickly. Just to give you an idea, we'll drop Spirit Ward, we'll drop Mystic Flight, and we'll drop Stealth. And we'll take up, not Stealth, we'll take up Leaping, Combat Jumping, and we'll take up Experimentation, Experimental Injection. Okay, now that I've got these two powers placed, and we'll go ahead and kind of slot them out. I can keep the same slotting that I had before. I've got the Dominus proc in here, or the Dominus set. Did I boost this all the way? No. Okay, no, it's not boosted. So I was going for a scaling benefits on this one. And, okay, yes, you can see it. All right, and we'll fill this out. And going this way, I maintain the same amount of defense capabilities that I had. I haven't lost any slotting, but now for that travel power, I've opened myself up to take either super jump or speed of sound. Well, super jump and combat jumping now stack, thus there's no punitive measure to taking both powers in the same set. Or if I just want to have that teleport to get in and out of mobs, I can do speed of sound. And again, we pick up the same slotting here. And thus I've changed two pull powers. I've kept my effective defenses. And if we do, we'll move that one in the background down, down. And then we'll do totals for both of them. And we can see that our totals have remained pretty much the same, as we're nearly soft capped to energy negative, we're soft capped to fire cold, and we're soft capped to range AoE. Over here, we're nearly soft capped to energy negative, we're soft capped to fire cold, and we're soft capped to range AoE. Uh, Thus, we can stay out of range of most enemies. We're also notably hard capped to smashing lethal resistances on both, and we have around 50% fire cold resist on both. So I haven't lost anything changing the slottings, but now I've changed how the character will play, what powers they will use charging into battle. And that can be a really big difference maker. And we'll go ahead and save this R3 support run. And this is one of the and you may also notice tough wasn't turned on for this. And as I continue going down to the procs, this infinite power will go ahead and deal with that one. We'll bump you back up. Tough is just holding the Unbreakable Guard maximum HP. This gives me a little bit more mileage out of the Impervious Skin status resistance. Clarity, which is the anti-mez for a single target. Executioner Shot. This is one of the more powerful single target attacks that I think it is the most powerful. Yes, it is, because the next one's a cone. It is the most powerful single target attack that a defender can get in dual pistols, and thus it got the uh, Apocalypse purple set in order to for that recharge time, for that more regeneration, and to maximize the amount of damage that this is going to put down, because this is kind of your DPS dealer. Next up, Weave, of course, to go for those defenses. Liquefy with Cloud Senses for that ranged defense. Piercing Rounds, full set for that recharge and for the deep range. And then we have Hail of Bullets, and this is kind of where things kind of got interesting, or at least part of how this build was set up in. A reason why I would go with Mystic Flight and Speed of Sound is the idea is that this character teleports into the middle of a fight, triggers hail of bullets, which gives a little bit of defense to melee ranged. And if I click this on and then we look at our totals, we see that I've gone to melee's not quite soft cap, but ranged and AoE have really uh, jumped up. And kind of the point here, or the idea is that trigger that in the middle of a mob, and then I can use Mystic Flight Teleport to get out. And same over here, using Speed of Sound, I could use the teleport to get into fight, let off hail of bullets, and then you teleport to get out. And we've got a Furious Glider chance for resist above, just to make it hurt all that much more. And then Charged Armor. And Charged Armor was mostly taken on the way towards Shocking Bolt, which is a minor hold. Now, there is kind of a, I'm not sure if this is a bug or intended behavior. And here you can see that I have taken Eradication, which is a PBAOE, for the defense energy negative, the little bit of ranged. Now, looking at my stat totals, I'm not so far of a range, but if this power was changed to a single target attack, I could pick up Thunderstrike for the ranged, or I could go hold and go Basilisk Gaze for the ranged, or I could go Superior Tome for the range. I'd lose some damage, or I could even go Preemptive Optimization for the ranged. Now, that could actually be interesting. I think I would still be, because this is a minor foe hold minus end, but I think I could actually go Preemptive Optimization. And while it wouldn't do anything really for the damage, that would give me a recharge, some max end, some hit points, and put me further over the range. Now, I am losing AoE soft cap, and I am losing. Well, I'm not going to lose fire cold, but I would lose the passive AoE soft cap, which I wouldn't lose if I was using Superior and Tome, which would also give me that recharge chance for Absorb. So if the PBAOE damage is uh, moved out in a future patch, future update, something, this build is not actually completely lost. There are still ways that I can make, still reach these values, perhaps even in some ways make the build a little bit better, but a little bit worse at the same time. I mean, preemptive optimization would be my first pick because of that just little bit extra recharge time. But I'm not going to deny that Superior and Tomes high end, keeping all of the defensive soft caps outright. Yeah, that's a nice that's a nice thing too. Or at least I think I would. Let's just, since I'm here, just look and see what that would look like. To see how much I lose or don't lose with Superior and Tome. And okay. All right. I actually do lose the AoE soft cap just a little bit. Uh, but it looks like I'm doing slightly better on energy. Am I doing better on energy negative? What am I over here? Yeah, I'm a little better on energy negative. If I have any kind of two-hit debuff in play, um, like if I had Liquefy out on the target, I'd still be okay on those. Uh, And over in here, defense. Okay, it's the same thing, but we're already using Winter's Bite elsewhere, so that wouldn't even be a factor. What does it just for, what does it look like with preemptive optimization in here? And we'll roll through this. And preemptive optimization. Okay, we have a nice, good uh, range soft cap. We're are we even there with? We're actually still there without agility turned on, which is compelling. Because if you attuned these, then and you attune the thunder strikes here, you would be into range soft cap as soon as you picked up weave. So uh, there is a strong argument to make for going preemptive optimization over eradication. You lose AoE and outright, but you're in a range soft cap, so anything that's trying to target you in the air might not be such a good choice for speed of sound, where you're going to be on the ground and closer to the target, but pretty good choice for up in the air using flight. And we'll actually save this as R3 support Bravo. We'll do R3 support flight. So we have a track record of making that change. And that's real quickly the power choices that I made, why I made them, and how I intend this, how I play, or not intend, since I actually have made this build. This is one I do play in game. It's one I think I have shown on stream as a support character for the tank that's passive farming down on the corner, or one of the tank scrapping. Even used her on a few scrappers. Even used her, I think, on a stalker or two. Okay. So that's the layout. That's how I did it. That's why I did it. Now let's get down and dirty and change this to a Sonic. Now, I do know off the top of my head that most of the slotting probably won't change because Sonic's nuke is also a PBAOE Dreadful Whale. In theory, we should only be swapping around a few powers. We do know we're going to be losing our uh, T7 and T8 because there's going to be Screech and something else. Siren Song, I think, because they're just useless. Or they're not useless, but for such late powers, the calculate the algorithmic calculations used to determine the values are broken. Keeping that in mind, let's actually sync both of our builds back up, and we'll bring up Defender Corruptor, date modified, and support flight, and we'll sync both of our builds right up. And now in the front window, we'll do our drop down and we'll choose Sonic Attack. And we've lost. Alright. We already know we're dropping Siren Song and Screech. We're probably we're definitely going to be picking up Scream, and we probably really want to pick up Amplify. Amplify we can get at 20. Scream we should probably take as early as possible. So we have as much damage as early as possible. Alright, what can we move down? Alright, Clarity, well, that's early as it can go. We'll move Tough down, and we'll move Spirit Ward down. And I don't know why Charged Armor is like it is. Oh, that would be like it is. There we go. That's fixed. Okay. And now we need to fill in Shockwave, and so you will be 22 will be Shout or Scream, and 24 will become Amplify. All right, we had Shockwave, and we'll fill that out with our missing slots, and now we'll look and see what we lost. We've lost an Apocalypse. Are any of these a single target? Shout is a single target. Scream is a single target. Shout's our most powerful attack. So that is where we are going to be putting the Apocalypse to maximize the amount of damage that our most powerful attack does. and also frees us up a slot. We're also missing a Superior Frozen Blast, which cannot go on. Okay. Immediate thing here is we're going to change HAL slotting. We're going to change HAL to Superior Frozen Blast. And then we're going to put the Superior Vigilante Assault on Scream. And then what else are we missing? Alright, so Sonic Barrier the same, Shrieking Pistols are the same, Sonic Haven the same, Howl is done, Maneuvers is done, Kick is done, Mystic Flight is done, Sonic Dispersion, Shout, which picked up the Apocalypse, Disruption Field, Stealth, Scream, Spirit Ward, which moved over there, Amplify. Okay, we're missing the uh, Defender ATO. Now, we're missing the Defender ATO, and we need to pick up some ranged defense, and we already know that we can't use the ATOs in our tertiaries. So how are we going to do this? Well, what we may plan on changing Electric Fence to uh, Superior's Winner's Bite. So we'll go ahead and do that. Swap this to Defender's Bastion. And that puts our PBAOE heal on our tier 1. So now we have given ourselves to keep firing at tier 1. Oh, wrong one. And then over here on Electric Fence, we're going to change this to Superior Winner's Bite. Alright, and we're probably going to be short a little bit of range defense. So we're going to change Shockwave to Overwhelming Force for right now. And then we'll go over on Amplify and put the Gaussian proc. And now we'll check our values. Alright, we are still soft capped to range. We're still soft capped to fire cold. Admittedly, this is with agility radial. With agility radial, we're not quite soft capped. Shocking bolt stays. We're not in remotely anywhere near smashing lethal or melee. So this build really is one for staying out of range. So Mystic Flight is right now our best choice, or flight, in order to make use of our range defense. And we have plenty of resist going around. Thus, we should be able to successfully, even if something targets us in the air, have the resistance and regeneration to, well, not go splat immediately. And I'm kind of looking over this. Am I missing anything? Okay, Sonic Repulsion, kind of fun for pinball games. Sonic Cage, not really useful. Sonic Siphon, foe minus resist all. With Sonic Attack, that's very incredibly redundant. Not really useful. Okay, and just out of curiosity, what's Liquefy looking like? Liquefy has a duration of 30 seconds, recharge time of 109. And okay, so other things to note while I'm going over this is power sinks down here at the very end, and I did mod accuracy recharge because performance shifter had that. I really wouldn't change that because you're not really doing anything else in here with it. But the advantage to having power sync here is going back to the how would display theoretical is pretty much the same as the dual pistols version. Is you teleport into a mob, you maybe do dreadful whale to stun them, do lots of damage, do power sync to recover endurance, and then teleport out using mystic flight, and then just continue laying on damage from afar. And I think that's all the notes there are to this. I'm in archive.